All right, it is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, and I want to welcome all of you to your City Hall. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alter.
Here.
Burgess.
Here.
Harmson.
Here.
Moe.
Here.
Saleh.
Here.
Teague.
Here.
Weiland.
Here.
All right, welcome again to your City Hall, and to those joining us virtually, welcome as well. Item number 2 is proclamations. 2A is Save Soil Day, and this will be read by Mayor Pro Tem Alter.
Whereas Save Soil is a global movement launched by Sadhguru, uniting world leaders, visionaries, influencers, and citizens of all nations behind a common purpose, to restore and safeguard the world's soil. And whereas Saved Soil aims to address the global soil crisis, recognizing that 52% of the world's agricultural soils are already degraded, and by 2050, 90% of the Earth's soil could be degraded. And whereas addressing soil degradation issues would bring solutions for the loss of biodiversity, nutritional deficiencies, food security, water scarcity, climate change and mass migration, and whereas the proposed solution is to advocate for policies across all nations towards soil restoration and aim to increase organic matter in agricultural soil. And whereas, in an effort to raise awareness and activate support from leaders and citizens alike, Sadhguru was on a 30,000-kilometer journey as a lone motorcyclist covering 27 nations over 100 days since March 21st, 2022. Now, therefore, I, Megan Alter, on behalf of Bruce Teague, Mayor of Iowa City, do hereby proclaim March 21st, 2026 to be Save Soil Day in Iowa City, as soil is vital to all life, and urge all citizens to be part of the Save Soil movement to support national policies towards soil restoration and aim to raise the organic matter of soil and participate in creating bright futures for our children and for the future of our planet.
Great, and to receive this proclamation is Rami, who will be accepting this. Welcome.
Right. All right. Good evening, Mayor, Council members, city staff, and my fellow Iowans. My name is Rami Lode, and I'm a volunteer with Conscious Planet, the nonprofit behind the Save Soil People's Movement. Thank you, truly, for this Save Soil proclamation today. I'll start with a quick disclaimer. This movement does not concern every person. It only concerns people who eat food, fast or slow. Because the soil we're talking about isn't dirt in general, it's cultivable soil. The living top layer that grows our food. When that living organic content is lost, soil can become more like sand, and food becomes harder and more expensive to grow. It is not just about the quality, but also about the not just about the quantity, but also about the quality. Our grandparents got as much nutrition from one orange as we do today from 8 oranges. This is clearly evident in the rising cases of nutrition and vitamin deficiency, compromising our immune system and impacting our overall well-being. The good news is this crisis is reversible. And the science is clear that restoring soil organic matter is central to the solution, with a widely shared target of bringing organic matter up to a healthy range. Save Soil is a global citizen-led movement bringing together governments, scientists, farmers, and everyday people to support soil health policies and practical farmer-driven regeneration. Now, why am I sharing this here in Iowa? Because policy follows people. When communities care, leaders act, and tonight's proclamation is an example of that leadership. As I speak, you'll see this short video playing with some of our local Iowa efforts. Our July 4th parade participation, handprint campaign with kids, past proclamations, University of Iowa movie screening and student engagement, and even a moment dancing with the Maasai in Kenya holding Safe Soil posters, because this is truly a global movement and Iowa is part of it. And we are continuing locally. On March 12th this week, we'll host a Safe Soil exhibit at Horn Elementary School, helping the next generation connect the dots between soil, food, and health. My ask is simple. Please visit safesoil.org and take one small action. Sign up as an Earth Buddy, learn, share, and help us keep soil health on the public agenda. It doesn't have to start with money. It starts with awareness and voice. And this proclamation gives that voice real momentum. Thank you again for your leadership and support. Save soil, let's make it happen, and go Hawks.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We're moving on to item 2B, which is Transgender Day of Visibility. Whereas transgender people have historically made and continue to make extraordinary contributions to the nation, and whereas Transgender Day of Visibility has been acknowledged by the LGBTQ+ community worldwide since 2009 to celebrate the contributions of the transgender community. And whereas the lives and human rights of transgender people are under attack across the country, with multiple laws being proposed that will restrict the rights of transgender people. And whereas celebrating transgender lives, recognizing the accomplishments of transgender people, and fostering transgender joy are crucial to counter the attacks, ensuring that each and every transgender person in our city knows they are valued and belong. And whereas the City of Iowa City has enshrined rights and protections in the Iowa City Human Rights Ordinance for our transgender community to meet this moment, and whereas we must commit to continuing the fight for full equality of all transgender people. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Teague, Mayor of Iowa City, do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2026 to be Transgender Day of Visibility in Iowa City. Who was to accept this proclamation? I do not see here at this time. But I did want to certainly acknowledge that our Human Rights Commission chair was going to be here today to accept this. I don't see them at this time. And as we know, there's a lot going on with our state legislation in regards to trans civil rights. And so just wanted to acknowledge that here in Iowa City, our trans community, we absolutely love you. We see you, we value you, and no matter what happens, you are very welcomed in our city. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to move on to our consent agenda, which is items 3 through 7. Could I get a motion, please?
I would like to pull item 6I for special consideration, please.
Okay. All right, so any other items for separate consideration? Hearing none, so could I get a motion to approve consent calendar items 3 through 6 with separate consideration for 6I?
So move.
Moved by Sala.
Second.
Seconded by, I'll go over here to Y-Line.
Mayor, I think you said items 3 through 6. I assume you meant items 3 through 7?
Items 3 through 7 with
Thank
a
you.
separate consideration for
Yeah.
item 6I.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. And anyone from the public like to address any of the items that are up for consideration right now, which is items 3 through 7, and which does not include item 6I? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. Seeing no one in person or online, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Sala,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Whiteline,
Yes.
Alter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We're on to item number 6I, which is up for separate consideration. And could I get a motion, please?
So moved, Harmson.
Second, Mo.
All right. Anyone from the public like to address 6I? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand.
There's somebody with a hand up, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, welcome. Thank you for signing in. Please state your name and city that you're from, and you'll be given up to 3 minutes. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Abby Banks. I've been before you guys talking about flock cameras a few times. I'm really happy to see that they have been taken off the Iowa City right-of-ways, city-owned right-of-ways. I think this is a great start. I urge you to do more, put in more protections, lobby the legislature. I think this is really important that we are not under any more surveillance than we absolutely have to. I urge you to talk to the university. I know that there are still tons of cameras on university properties that are surveilling us, surveilling our neighbors, cooperating with ICE, sharing our data with thousands of other municipalities, organizations. That is horrifying to me. I hope it's horrifying to you. Again, thank you to y'all and to city staff for moving quickly on those flock cameras. They obviously should never have been up on city right-of-ways, but I'm happy to see that they are down and happy to see that this is coming before you guys for a vote. And I urge you to vote to put this into law. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to comment on this item? Seeing no one in person or online, council discussion.
Yeah, so I just wanted to highlight it for transparency's sake because I know I've gotten a lot of public feedback from wanting to have some, not only with us communicating to the university that we didn't want these flock cameras on public right-of-way, but also to try to put in some protections so the miscommunication or the seemingly breach of council discretion when it comes to these important things happens again. So would you, Eric, be able to just give it like a brief overview of exactly what this new ordinance does?
Sure. So this resolution does two things. It carries forward the first two elements of the exceptions. That is, it still empowers the Director of Public Works to sign temporary use of right-of-way agreements with other parties with certain exceptions. Again, the first two are agreements regarding the placement of public utilities. So that's typically with other governmental bodies, the university, something like that. And agreements regarding sidewalk cafes, that's handled through a separate process. But the language that we added is agreements involving information or video systems that capture and store data related to individual behaviors. So that's in response to the concerns about surveillance and tracking, while still allowing things like traffic counters, which would just, keep track of how many cars passed by a certain spot. That would not be affected by this prohibition. But we hope that this language does address the concerns that have been raised both by some members of the public and by council.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted someone more eloquent than me to be able to put it. So yeah, thank you so much for putting together this language. I think it's really good. You said that it has breadth to it.
I like how broad it is.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
And thank you, Jeff, for taking the heat and deal with this.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Teague,
Yes.
Wyline,
Yes.
Alter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo,
Yes.
Sala.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We're on to items number 8, which is community comment. This is an opportunity for people to make comment on anything that is not on our agenda.
Any of these? Setting, do we have to set public hearings?
No.
No, okay.
And so you'll be allowed up to 3. I wanted to see a hand of everyone that wanted to speak today during this time. Okay. I see just 2. Yep, there is a sign-in right there that I'll ask you all to sign in at, or if you have filled out a slip in the back, you can just drop it in the basket. You'll be given up to 3 minutes to speak.
Okay.
Please state your name and city you're from.
All right. David Houston from Iowa City. All right. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Again, my name is David Houston. I'm with a nonprofit home building and remodeling organization called Homes for My Peeps. Our focus is on sustainable housing and community development. I'm here to briefly introduce a concept called Roofs and Domes, which is a small pilot project designed to explore whether alternative structural systems combined with a supervised workforce training program could reduce the cost of building houses here in Iowa City while remaining fully code compliant. As you may know, the city faces 2 major constraints in addressing housing supply, and that's construction costs, workforce shortages. This pilot is designed to explore whether both of these challenges can be addressed together. What I'm proposing is initially low risk and phased. The initial step is not construction funding. The first phase is on validating feasibility, site readiness, engineering considerations, zoning capabilities, cost modeling, and integration of a 12-week workforce training program. The goal is to gather real data before any larger commitments are made. In that sense, the pilot is data-driven, scalable, and structured to reduce uncertainty. Once successful, the model will demonstrate how small projects can lower per-unit costs, create workforce capacity, and potentially expand affordable housing production over time. Importantly, this approach is not a blank check request. It is a structured feasibility process intended to convert ideas into measurable results before any larger investment decisions are made. I've already begun to discuss with the Housing Trust Fund here in Johnson County, which has a current funding round, and I'm actively discussing and identifying potential sites as well as partners to ensure that the proposal reflects a real development pathway. I also understand that the city continues to evaluate how certain equity and reconciliation related funds may be deployed in ways that advance housing opportunities in our community. If appropriate, I would welcome guidance on whether a pilot like this could fit in those broader goals. Tonight, I'm not asking for approval. I'm simply introducing the concept and seeking staff direction on appropriate pathways forward. I thank you for your time and the work that you do in your community, in the community.
Thank you.
Right on.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Right. Yep, welcome. Please state your name and city you're from, and if you haven't signed in, we'll certainly have you. All right, thank you.
I'm Eric Creech, Iowa City. So it was interesting that we had the guy doing the soil conservation here. Mm-hmm. So that was the global aspect. And unfortunately, I don't have much faith in either our federal government or our state government to assist us here in that regard where we live. But I do have faith in you all to maybe put forth some efforts to make it way easier for anyone to get involved in community gardening, urban gardening, and also renters. I would like to make it somehow where renters that have space available are not prohibited by their landlords to do gardening. I think if you look at what's going on with our cancer rates and what the gentleman was talking about before, it's crystal clear that Iowa is desperate for changing that system. And as things progress the way they seem to be progressing, it's only going to get worse and worse. So if locally, we can just maybe put a damper on the chemical spreading all around and loosen up any constraints on anyone trying to do soil restoration. That's what you do when you do good, sustainable gardening, and put forth some funds or just take away the barriers for people to do that wherever they really want, and like just increasing community gardens substantially so that more people can take part. That's how we can do something locally in this community. So I know that ties in with what David's doing to some extent, and I hope that we can figure out some things to do. And I just think the first thing is to just allow people to garden sustainably wherever there's land that they can, and not put barriers on unused land. If a developer decides to come in and, purchase that property, so be it. They could still develop it. It's not a big deal it's not like there was a grove of trees, it's a garden. But in the meantime, the community should be able to use that, and we should try to make spaces for everyone. My vision is every block has a community garden, and that's not impossible. It's totally doable. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak during this time? Seeing no one else, I'm going to close the community comment. Thanks to the commenters for coming and sharing their thoughts with the council. We're going to move on to 9, planning and zoning matters. 9A is zoning code amendment, floodplain management standards. Ordinance amending Title 14 zoning related to the city's floodplain management standards to address comments from the Federal Emergency Management Agency in order to maintain the community's continued participation and eligibility in the National Flood Insurance Program. I'm going to open up the public hearing and welcome Tracy.
Hi. Thanks, Mayor. We're here tonight talking about the zoning code text amendments to address comments in FEMA's, in order to maintain the community's participation and eligibility in the National Flood Insurance Program, we have to do 2 amendments. So we submitted the amendment to the floodplain management back in October. You guys approved that. We then submitted it to the DNR and the FEMA, and they looked at it, and there's 2 amendments that we have to make in order to maintain compliance. One was that we had to add a standard where all plumbing and utility equipment associated with new construction or substantial improvements be elevated. This is a requirement that even a substantial improvement, which is cost of improvement, is above 50% of the market value of the structure, the entire structure must be brought into compliance. That was the first one. The second one was that we revise our definition for substantial improvement, and this is to coordinate and to have the same verbiage as the DNR and FEMA. It does not change our city process. So how we calculate the substantial improvement does not change, but we have standard language with the DNR and FEMA. So basically, we had the floodplain management standards adopted. We got comments back in December saying we had these 2 areas that we had to amend. And so we took it to P&Z. They recommended approval, 7-0. And so now it's just, we recommend approval of these 2 amendments. And we do have our certified floodplain manager here tonight if you have questions.
I'm curious as to what, when we're talking about plumbing, and I'm assuming it's going back to, it needs to be above. What are we referring to as examples?
I'm going to get Madison up here.
All right, great. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Madison Conley, Associate Planner with the City of Iowa City. So with the plumbing, this is just standard language that has already been in our code. As we were moving through the update, this standard did not make it into the ordinance, so we needed to propose that to you guys, but it has been included in the packets previously. But in regards of examples, it would be like a water heater would need to be above that 100-year or 500-year flood hazard elevation level, just to ensure that our utilities and all our mechanical systems don't be impacted when things do flood. So it's just like an extra level of protection, but this is standard language in many communities who participate in the NFIP.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I have also a question for you.
is the right way if community members want to sort of get to see where these 0.2% for 100-year, 500-year floods, 0.2, whatever the new nomenclature is it just to go to the property information viewer, Johnson County PIV website and just sort of look at the map? Is that the easiest way for people to kind of see, like, does this impact me at all? Which I think the punchline is very few people.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely one method, but sometimes you do have to click on different filters to show those flood hazard layers. So I would suggest going to FEMA's .com maps website, and they have basically, you can type in your property address and it'll jump right to it. So FEMA has a couple national flood hazard layers already enabled, so you wouldn't have to click around multiple ways.
Okay.
So there's just multiple pages.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. If you're present, please step forward. Seeing no one in person or online, I'm going to close the public. Well, prior to that, I'm going to just see if council is inclined to vote with P&Z. All right. I'm going to close the public hearing. Could I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved. Alter.
Second, Burgess.
All right. And this is first consideration. Anyone, council discussion? Roll call, please.
Wyline,
Yes.
Alter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo,
Yes.
Sala,
Yes.
Teague.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Item number 10 is our regular formal agenda. 10A, Iowa City Fiscal Year 2026 Pavement Rehabilitation Project. Resolution approving project manual and estimate of cost for the construction of the fiscal year 2026 pavement rehabilitation project. Establish an amount of bid security to accompany each bid. Directing city clerk to post notice to bidders. And fixing time and place for receipt of bids. I'm going to open up the public hearing. And welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Justin Harlan. I'm a senior engineer here at the city, and this is the 2026 pavement rehab project. In the past, we've called it the annual overlay project. So the general project overview is we'll assign roadways that we feel are deteriorated or have reached their end of their useful service life, and we'll go in, we'll mill those roadways, we'll fix curb and gutters, we'll fix some of the drainage issues. And we'll also come in and do, of course, the overlay and addressing curb ramps as well. We also usually do a chip seal. Traditionally, we've done Taft Avenue. That's on the docket again for this year as well. So this year, we've identified the Highland area. It's kind of by Mark Twain Elementary. You have 4 streets there: Franklin, Ash, Pine, and Ewell. These are kind of in between Ginter and DeForest. We've also identified Taft, of course, and then Ridge Street. In total, there's 6 sites. That's about 3/4 of a mile of paving, 1.3 miles of chip sealing, and this is kind of along the same lines that we've done the past several years. So the current condition of these roadways, as you can see, is deteriorated. You can see the slumping of the curb, poor drainage in the gutter line, and the ride quality is poor. This just happens to be Ewell Street, just north of Cottonwood Ave. North of Mark Twain Elementary. So traditionally, this is Glendale last year, and you can kind of see on the left that what it looked like before. And then after our project this year, you can see that it's been overlaid. We've addressed some of the drainage issues, and we've also addressed the curb ramps. This year, the estimated cost is around $2.3 million. We're scheduling a bid opening for April 1st. That's not an April Fool's joke. It is April 1st. We plan to award that on April 7th and then move forward to a phased construction in June to November of 26. The phasing part is that we put some restriction on the contractor for how many intersections that they can have closed down at one time so people can still use detours and get around their neighborhoods efficiently and safely. So with that, I will go ahead and open it up to questions.
Can you remind us how you come up with the recommendations for who gets the surface the reconstruction? I mean,
Right.
we have hundreds of miles that could benefit
Sure.
from this. I know you have to sort of rate them and stuff.
Yeah, we had a consultant do a study, and they identified some of our problem roadways. We try to address those each year. We found that our most efficient way in use of our dollars is that we try to identify neighborhoods. So if we have a cluster of these roadways, like you've seen with the pictures that I just showed, where the roadway surface is deteriorated, or there's slumping curb lines, or there's drainage issues, that's how we identify those and try to get them all in 1 year.
Thanks.
Do these plans sometimes change if/when unexpected things happen? I think about the couple water main breaks we had a couple weeks ago, and obviously then you need to repair the ground there, or does that generally come from like a different fund?
Generally, we do have a water pavement patching project that we do each year that kind of that addresses those things. Obviously, things change in the field. Sometimes you have to address those changes in field conditions, and we rely on a lot on our engineering staff and our inspection staff to kind of make those changes as necessary.
How long ago was you mentioned a consultant who kind of mapped out the health of the roads? How long ago was that, and approximately how long did that mapping take? This is just a little bit of a rabbit hole, so.
Sure.
Good evening, Scott Silvers, Assistant City Engineer. So we just had our consultant update the plan, I think it was last year, so it's fairly recent.
Okay.
Yep.
Scott or Justin, would you mind talking just a little bit about that plan and the type of data the consultant collects with the pavement condition index?
Yep. So the consultant gets data from the DOT. They have a program where they go and they scan all of our roadways, and they take that data and they put it into a system where they kind of assess the pavement condition. And so we have pavement conditions for pretty much all of our streets in Iowa City. So that's how we kind of go through and select the streets that we rehab.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
yeah.
All right, hearing no more questions. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand. If you're in council chambers, please come forth. Seeing no one?
Mayor, if I can just add one thing. This is the program that is set to get a big boost from our lost funds, our infrastructure fund. So this is this particular project does not have lost dollars in it. When you see the next year's project, it'll be closer to the $4 million range as opposed to roughly the $2 million range that you see here.
Okay. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved. Mo?
Second, Harmson.
All right, council discussion.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to city staff. Without calling out any other communities in eastern Iowa, I had occasion to be driving in one another major community and was just noticing the difference in the quality of pavement, and that I was bouncing and jouncing quite a bit more in the other community. And so, and in fact, some passenger in my car was also noticing, wow, Iowa City streets are way better than this. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have some potholes here, because we do, but it was definitely like a contrast was very apparent as I was driving around just a number of streets in another community. And it's not one of our, and that's not one of our near neighbors, so I don't want anybody to think I'm throwing shade at Coralville or North Liberty, because I'm not. But it was definitely like, but it was one of those things that it was, because we approved these budgets sitting up here in these plans, it really made me appreciate the long-term work that's done. And even though it's a lot to keep up with, it does make a difference. Like it's in total, it makes a difference. So that's all.
Roll call, please.
Alter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo,
Yes.
Sala,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Wyline.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. 10B is sale of 1519 East Court Street. Resolution authorizing conveyance of a single-family home located at 1519 East Court Street. I'm going to open the public hearing and welcome Tracy again.
Last item, I promise. We have the sale of 1519 East Court Street. We have been working with the property owner trying to abate nuisances for the last 10 years. We consider it abandoned property. It meets the state of Iowa's definition of abandoned property. It has had no water or sewer, or water or gas service since 2023. The building was full of personal property from 4 feet to the ceiling level. We've responded to about 25 complaints since the previous owner purchased it in 2016. We've made an effort to purchase the property voluntarily. We have made an effort, basically, the previous owner did not accept our offer. They've not listed the property, and they've not brought the property back up to code. So the court granted us a petition of the court that was abandoned to transfer the title to us. The title was transferred. We cleared the debris. We restored electrical service to a panel in the basement, and then we listed it for sale. So we listed it with a broker. We have the purchase agreement that's here before you. It requires the new owner to gut it and rehab it to code, or to demo it and build another house. And then they also had to, if they decided to rehab the house, there is a basement wall that's in question, so they had to get a structural engineering report, and they have to abate that nuisance based on what the structural engineer recommends or to satisfactory. So we have an offer for $100,000. We're recommending acceptance of the $100,000. The court order requires us to reimburse our costs and then pay the remaining amount of funds to the previous owner. Any questions about the property?
I'm assuming that math was done or that thought was put into what if we just kept the house for housing stock, and I would just imagine that it's just not worth it.
Now, as I understood, we have to pay the owner, so we'd have to pay and pay whatever. We cover our expenses, and then we pay the previous owner the money, since the court just gave us the title. We didn't buy it from this previous owner. The court just transferred title. We do whatever, we decide the minimum improvements that we were going to do is restore electricity and take out the debris, and then any proceeds has to be repaid to the previous owner.
So we have the title, but we still have to give them money?
Yeah. Yeah, we took title with, it's a court, maybe legal can help me with this one? It's a
Right, it's an abandonment statute, so yeah, we take title. My memory and understanding was that we weren't required by that statute to return to the prior owner the difference between our rehab costs and whatever we sell it for, but I think the decision was made that that felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah, we did not pay for the property.
I mean, I think you know what I'm going with this, but interesting. Okay. Yeah. So we think it is the right thing morally, even though we are not legally obligated to give them money and not keep a house for ourselves.
That's my memory of this being explained to me by the other attorney in our office who handled this matter, yes.
Okay.
I can quickly check the statute to the extent I can if you guys want to continue discussing.
Sorry, I would have brought this up earlier, but I think I just misunderstood when I was reading this earlier.
I was under the impression that we had to repay the previous owner.
Well, I'm trying to remember if it's a matter of the statute versus what was requested of the court. I don't doubt that the court may have ordered, and maybe that's going to be responsive to your question, that the court order may have already indicated that we need to pay the difference, and probably that's the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions for?
When was this abandoned, or when was it declared abandoned? So this was bought by the owner in 2016?
No, well, it was bought by the owner by 2016. We purchased it in 2025.
Okay. And there's no indication of how long it had been?
We've been taking complaints since 2016.
So they
It
bought-
wasn't fit for human habitation, so I don't know how long the family had lived in the house. That I don't know.
Okay.
But when we got a court order in 2024 allowing us to inspect the property, so a building inspector, firefighter went out there, and we couldn't get 2 feet into the property because it just had too much debris.
I guess I'm of the opinion.
I have some thoughts on this.
Sorry,
but
go ahead.
It's not discussion yet. It's still questions, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes, okay.
Any other questions?
Because you said we purchased it on 2025, but actually we did not purchase it. The county gave us the title.
The court transferred the
court.
title to
I
us.
mean
Yeah,
the court.
we did not pay for.
Yes, that's.
Right.
All right, hearing no more questions, thank you. Would anyone from the public like to address this topic? If you're online, please raise your virtual hand, which I don't see anyone online. So anyone in council chambers, please come forth if you want to speak on this. Seeing no one, council discussion. Oh, wait, I need to close the public hearing.
Right.
All right, I close the public hearing. Now, can I get a motion to approve, please?
So moved, Mo.
Second, Harmson.
All right, council discussion.
So I think what I was saving for the comments was, and I think this might be the first time, Councilor Wyland, since you've been on, that we've done one of these, but we did one a couple years ago, and it was the one with the chimney that was falling down next to somebody's house over on
Governor.
Governor, thank you, yeah. So but kind of as I recall from that, part of the conversation was about maybe the, I don't know if it's part of the statute or part of the discussion at the time, but local governments not trying to look like they are grabbing up and condemning or taking properties in order to make money off of them. And so the idea was to make sure that everything is completely clean and moral. Is that like, hey, in these situations, at least this is the way I remember it, and other council members can correct me. In these kinds of situations, we just like, okay, so we're gonna like let this turn over. We're gonna like not try and make it look like the city is trying to cash in on it. So like that's why we don't keep the money. Like the way it goes, like we take the costs and give the previous owner so they can't come back later and say, well, I was going to clean that up, but the city's just trying to, take away my money and my property, and how dare you? And it sort of keeps it nice and clean, and now it's off to somebody else, and now they're going to, do something with it according to what we tell them they have to do. And I know I don't know about this particular property, but I know from other people that have had properties like this next door to them, they're just really happy to like no longer have this thing where the neighborhood raccoon families are hanging out and then coming over and tearing up their house and their stuff. I mean, they are such a nuisance, and so it's nice to just kind of move them through and get them, rehabbed. So, but I think I know where you were going with that. But that's kind of the discussion that I remember. Other council members, do you kind of remember that the last time we did that over on Governor?
And I think the other thing is we don't know what people are going through, and so we don't want to cause another burden on folks. And it just seemed like, from our perspective, it was what we wanted to do was just give the funds back, any remaining funds outside of our cost.
I was able to find the statute. It appears to be Iowa Code Section 657A.10B, which awards clear title to the city with no claims remaining by the respondent, that being the property owner. But as Ms. Haichu indicated, there is a court order in effect, and obviously we need to comply with the court order as well.
And the court order was to
Give them
have us give the money.
I have not reviewed it myself, but that's my understanding.
Okay. That is helpful. Thank you.
Sure.
I mean, I guess just for my train of thought, just like if we have I understand like, oh, the city's just cashing in. I would think the city cashing in on providing housing for our people is pretty cool. But if a site has been abandoned and a nuisance since 2016 and a court gives us a title and doesn't give us direction to pay that property back, I just, think we have people that don't have homes and we have people that are waiting on voucher lists. So that was just my line of thinking. But sounds like we can't do it anyway, so thank you.
Roll call, please.
Burgess?
Yes.
Harmson?
Yes.
Mo?
Yes.
Sala?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Wyline?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. 10C, Fireworks Ordinance Amendment. Ordinance amending Title 8, Police Regulations, Chapter 5, Miscellaneous Offenses, Section 12, Fireworks, to amend the dates and hours during which the discharge of fireworks remain legal in compliance with newly amended state law, and to prohibit the use of fireworks on city property. Can I get a motion to give first consideration?
So moved, Mo.
Second, Alter.
All right, and our city attorney, Eric Gores.
Thank you, Mayor. So you may recall that this came up for discussion recently from council. Council was aware that there had been a change in state code that prohibited cities from, in turn, prohibiting the use of fireworks on certain limited days. Those being July 3rd and 4th between certain hours, the weekend on either side of July 4th during certain hours, and December 31st, New Year's Eve, to 12:30 in the morning of January 1st. So as the council is aware, I am always supportive of having our ordinances track a state code so that there's no confusion about what the law is for our officers, among others, who need to enforce it. So the state statute here, there are two. One is in Chapter 364 that kind of speaks to city powers. The other is Chapter 727 that speaks to fireworks more directly. I would say that those two do not mesh as well as I would like. It was a little tricky to try to navigate the slight differences between the two, but I think I'm satisfied that we've achieved it with this proposed ordinance. The last thing that we did was we added a prohibition on firing or using fireworks on city property, such as city streets, city parks, city ramps, other city facilities, because we believe that as property owners, we still control what takes place on our property.
Thank you.
Do we have any ability when it's a drought and we have like a red flag warning to ask people to not set off fireworks?
We can certainly ask if that's your question.
But we can't, even if the state has a no burn, even if we have a no burn ban, this would not.
I think not. I would need to look at the kind of emergency powers and emergency management kind of statutes and our ordinances to see if it would serve to overturn the state provisions on this. Sure. I would like to think it would, but I'm not necessarily optimistic that that's true.
Well, we have time until the 4th of July.
We do have some time.
Yeah, never know when that might be necessary.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would anyone from the public like to address this topic? Seeing no one in person, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Harmson?
Yes.
Mo?
Yes.
Sala?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Wyline?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. 10D, TIF District, North Dodge and Scott. Ordinance providing that general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located within the North Dodge and Scott urban renewal area in City of Iowa City, County of Johnson, State of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the State of Iowa, City of Iowa City, County of Johnson, Iowa City Community School District, and other taxing districts, be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, monies advanced to and indebtedness, including bond issues or to be issued, incurred by the city in connection with the North Dodge and Scott urban renewal area. And this is first consideration. Could I get a motion, please?
So moved, Mo.
Second, Burgess.
All right. And Rachel is going to come up, and I think you're going to really take us through this item, which will also be 10E as well.
Yep, I'll present on both items.
Great, thank you.
So Rachel Kilberg-Varley, Economic Development Coordinator for the city. These items should look somewhat familiar to you. Over the last couple of meetings, you've approved the urban renewal plans, and those plans are what establish that policy framework that allows the city to use the economic tool of TIF. But the action before you tonight is the procedural step to actually create that financing mechanism. So creating the TIF district is what allows the city to capture the incremental value in property tax within the districts over that period of time. These incremental incremental revenues can then be used to support eligible projects within the urban renewal plan and within the urban renewal area. So the two TIF districts on your agenda tonight are the North Dodge and Scott, and then the Sycamore. For the North Dodge and Scott area, we have one planned use of TIF. That's the North Dodge intersection project. That's a $3.5 million project programmed for 2026, this coming construction season. That includes construction of a signalized intersection at North Dodge and ACT Circle, and then the utility improvements related to it. That also adds or reopens that leg into ACT Drive, so it provides an access point into what was the former ACT campus and where some of that commercial development will be occurring. So it is what we view as essential to the development occurring there. That project's out for bid and would still be required to come before you for your approval. So while it's in the plan, actual approval of the project and thus our use of TIF to help fund it would still come to you separately. For the Sycamore area, as we've discussed in the past, we don't have any planned use of TIF in that area at this time. We're just proactively creating that district in partnership with Greater Iowa City and their Strategic Investment District Initiative, so that if an opportunity does present itself, we have everything in place and we could consider TIF if you so wish. So again, same thing, any project that sought to use TIF would come before you. Any questions about either?
With Sycamore, is that in creating it as a TIF district, or the potential, in creating it as a district, is that potentially kind of a sweetener to developers to be able to say, this is a TIF district, and so this could be something that could come to council as a potential?
It can be. There's kind of two mindsets about the use of TIF, and sometimes, we've talked to you about this before. In many ways, it can be reactive to a catalyst project, and in some ways, it can be proactive and do exactly what you're talking about, Mayor Pro Tem, where we establish that area, and we hope that sends a signal to the private market that we're interested in investing there.
I guess what I'm asking is, in addition to it providing a signal, is it something where it is actually used as a carrot, as a recruitment tool?
I suppose it could be.
I mean, I realize the reason why I ask is because we're not establishing a TIF because we don't have anything to attach it to, right? But it's just to say the conditions are right for this. This has been created so that if you come here, there is this potential. It could come before council. They could approve it. But okay. I'm answering my own question. Right. I just wondered if it was something where it would be actively used as a recruitment tool, as an attraction for a developer.
Yeah, as conversations are happening with private property owners, that may be the case.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? Please come forth at this time. Welcome, please state your name and city you're from, and there is a sign-in that you can sign in right there. You'll be given up to 3 minutes. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and councilors. I'm going to address both items 10D and 10E since we're discussing them together on behalf.
Technically, you can only do 10D.
Okay, well, I'll start with 10D and then I'll come back
Great.
for 10E. On behalf of Greater Iowa City, I want to express our strong support for the North Dodge and Scott TIF District. Redevelopment of this area of town increases housing supply, creates a commercial area with important neighborhood amenities, and will drive economic growth. TIF is an important tool in allowing current development plans to move forward, and we appreciate your consideration.
Great, thank you.
I'll see you in a minute.
Anyone else like to address this topic? Seeing no one else, council discussion. Roll call, please.
Mo?
Yes.
Sala?
Yes.
Teague?
Yes.
Wyline?
Yes.
Alter?
Yes.
Burgess?
Yes.
Harmson?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. 10E, TIF District Sycamore Ordinance providing that general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located within Sycamore Urban Renewal Area and City of Iowa City, County of Johnson, State of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the State of Iowa, City of Iowa City, County of Johnson, Iowa City Community School District, and other taxing districts, be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, monies advanced to an indebtedness, including bonds issued or to be issued incurred by the city in connection with the Sycamore urban renewal area. And this is first consideration. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved. Alter.
Second.
Moved by Alter, seconded by
Mo.
Mo. Okay, great.
Doesn't matter.
I just heard a male voice from over there. All right. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? This was covered by staff in the previous presentation. All right, please state your name and city you're from.
Katie Gerlach, Greater Iowa City, and I'm here again to register Greater Iowa City's support for the Sycamore TIF District. The proposed boundaries align with our Strategic Investment District. As you know, it's a public-private collaboration to create a community-informed development plan that will spur economic growth and housing opportunities in this key neighborhood. We're grateful for the city's collaboration on this effort so far and see this TIF designation as a proactive step in helping secure private investment in the area, making the Strategic Investment District plan a reality. We know that we'll be able to use this TIF district, and by the creation of the Urban Renewal Area and TIF District, you've probably removed at least 3 months of development barriers in this case. And so we're very grateful and appreciative of that, and thank you for your consideration and partnership on this effort.
Thank you, and will you please state the city you're from?
Iowa City.
Thank you. All right, anyone else like to address this topic? Welcome, please state your name and city you're from.
Hi, Council. My name is Noah Stein. I've talked to many of you. I live at 2502 Bradford Drive in Iowa City. I am, how you doing, Bruce? Mayor Teague? How you doing, harm is in? The harm is in the room. I'm here, hi. Representative Sala, you have you're very nice. You don't have to give me that look. I live over there across the street from Southeast. I'm in Mr. Hermazin's district. Hey, Oliver. And how you doing, Rep. Mo? I'm very excited about this because that area needs a lot. And as a resident and an involved person, very curious about development and very interested in seeing that area be thriving. I just really hope that you all take the time and effort to make sure that we don't end up with some of the, political fallout of the South District TIF, okay? I want to make sure that the money is well spent. Hi there, Ms. Burgess. The money is well spent, that nobody is, what's the word? There isn't any corruption where people are getting favors, where special businesses are getting special favors or consideration for money. And I expect, I've only been in Chicago, in this city for about 5 years. I'm from Chicago. Mayor Teague, I went to Whitney Young. You still didn't tell me what high school you went to. So that's on the Sycamore, okay? And I know we have the stuff going on with the school up in the north part, and we can talk about that, make my comment about that too. But let's govern, right? And not waste money and not lose sight of making sure that contracts are right and making sure that the people who work for the city on these jobs are, not wasting taxpayer dollars. Okay, right? Hi there, Mr. Attorney. And Jeff, okay. Right? I've got 20 more seconds and I'm going to use it. Hi there, Deputy Clerk. I, as a, I don't know. I really want to see you guys do a much better job.
Thank you.
And I
have to cut
am
you
one of
off.
those people who will hold your feet to the fire.
I have to cut you off, but thank you so much. Thank you. Will you please sign in right there? Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else like to address this topic? Seeing no one in person or online. Council discussion. Roll call, please.
Sala,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Wyline,
Yes.
Alter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. 10F, assessment, 2734 East Court Street, resolution adopting an assessment schedule for court-ordered tree removal at 2734 East Court Street and directing the city clerk to certify the same to the Johnson County Treasurer for collection in the same manner as property taxes. Could I get a motion to approve, please?
So move. Sala.
Second, Burgess.
All right, and City Attorney.
Thank you, Council. So following a municipal infraction regarding an ash tree that needed to be addressed by a property owner who did not do so, the city took care of it. And we typically, and in this case, are not in a rush to be repaid or reimbursed for the expenses. The court issued a lien to ensure that when the property was sold, that's when we would get our money for the cost that the city incurred to remove the ash tree. However, in this case, the property is going under foreclosure because the owners are deceased and no estate has been opened. And so we want to assess the cost so that when, if, probably when, the property is sold at tax sale, we'll recover our money then.
All right, hearing no questions. Anyone from the public like to address this topic? Seeing no one in person or online, council discussion? Roll call, please.
Teague,
Yes.
Wyline,
Yes.
Alter,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Harmson,
Yes.
Mo,
Yes.
Sala.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. All right, we're on to item 11, which is council appointments. We're going to begin with 11A, Civil Service Commission. We have 3 applications there.
And I wrote our city clerk to sort of see about Ashley and understand that she has served a partial term. So she's not actually got one complete term. Is she vice chair or chair? Vice chair. Vice chair.
Heard hail.
What is saying?
I heard hail.
3 inches.
The answer for what?
It's a severe thunderstorm warning. I think we're okay as long as the council is comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
Okay.
If they don't try to speak to us again.
All right. All right.
I was just saying that whenever someone is asking for a reappointment, if they've only had one appointment, I'm typically, and especially if they have a leadership position, I tend to like that. So I would elevate her name.
Ironically, she wants to be on the library board as her first preference. Just saying.
Sure.
But I would agree.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know that there are no, hold on, I got to get this up here really quick. Sorry, clicked out of the page. I liked Brandon. I liked the, I think he's extremely qualified. I like his role as someone who is, knows what it's like to be like a rank and file worker, someone positioned on that board to be able to understand what that is like and know, especially with just the, huge experience with being a civil servant. So that's someone that I would nominate.
Any other nominations?
I guess, and this is not the hill that I would die on, but I have thought of this, and I know Brandon well, and I completely agree with you. Honestly, I think he's probably the most qualified. However, and this is my own position on this, I talked to a few of you before this, just stating that this was where my thoughts were. Back when we had CPRB, which was an advisory council, there was also a specific role for law enforcement. And that role, that person had to be retired from and have a certain amount of years away from that position, even to be on an advisory commission in an advisory role. And so my preference would be for Brandon to have some years away. He's not yet off of the fire department, which he readily, and he has very eloquently and thoughtfully talked about where he's at in his process of medical retirement. But even so, once he has left the fire department, I feel like there should be some separation between his active service and then adjudicating and making decisions that have real world impact, both in terms of looking at the state of where someone is at in their career, should they be coming under some kind of adjudication in terms of punishment or in terms of promotion. Few and far between that the fire department would come up, but that's my preference. That said, he's also incredibly well qualified, but I just wanted to state it as another vantage point to to his application.
I have been saying the same kind of things that you're saying right now, Mayor Pro Tem, but I was saying it differently, where we saw and executive directors of a number of the organizations being appointed to a commission where they make a decision about that number of the organization. And we've been doing it. So if we can do it for that, I think we can do it for Brandon too. Because we have many, right now, currently, people who are being attached to a number of the organizations and also in a commission right now making decisions for those number of organizations when it comes to money. I just believe it works the same. And as long as it's not against the law or we are not breaking anything, I think we should go with Brandon.
What I'll add is that I don't believe it would break the law in response to your question, Councilor Sala, but I do want to identify a potential conflict of interest that might arise if he were to serve. He is no longer a firefighter with the City of Iowa City's fire department. However, he still is an officer in their union. He is a second vice president of the firefighters union. So any kind of disciplinary action that involves a firefighter, perhaps any issue of promotions within the fire department, presumably he would have to recuse as long as he remains a union officer with the fire department's local union.
And I think that would be reasonable.
I suppose I just see like the written in the application is here's a written commitment to abstain from any votes that impacts the Iowa City Fire Department.
Yeah.
So I guess that was just convincing for me.
I like Brandon too. I just wanted to bring up the fact that we have somebody who's, we usually give people a second.
I agree, and with what you said, Councilor Weiland. And I think for me, the other piece that gives me comfort with this is we just had to increase this to a 5-member board. So if it's 3 members and 1 person recuses, that leaves the board really hard to make a decision, right? If it's 5 and 1 member recuses, I think they still leave them with enough voices to make a decision. And but again, all great points being made, and that's kind of, as I was processing this, that's kind of, for me, that kind of tipped me in a direction as well, so.
Yeah.
But thank you.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but I hear you.
No,
And it's an issue.
totally see all points and think that they're all valid. It's just where I landed after thinking about this for a while. I just think the qualification is outweighs whatever. That's just where I personally landed. Yeah.
So we have two folks that have been nominated right now. I did hear about the partial term, and I know that that's something that we've done in the past, right? So just wanted to see who would be supportive of the partial term, and then we'll go to Brandon after that. So,
I guess I'll of course support Brandon if that's what the council wants, but I just wanted to say we do typically, if somebody is at a partial term and is seeking that second term, it's since I've been on council, that's been how we've typically operated. If somebody is in good standing and wants to continue on, and then if they want a third term, we say no, somewhere else. And that is a wonderful problem we have sometimes, but there is some value of having people who have experience like doing 2 terms. So that is the reason why I elevated that name, is because it's standard for us to do that.
Yeah.
And again, I will, of course, if the rest of you guys all support Brandon, I will too. I think he would do a great job also.
Yeah. I think, you bring up a point, and I mean, I would support Ashley at this time and see where we land.
Mm-hmm.
Am I only hearing 2 for Ashley at this point? Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then Brandon.
Yeah.
Then sure, if that's the way it is. Yeah.
All right.
He'll do great.
Great. All right. So we have appointment for Brandon for the Civil Service Commission. Could I get a motion to approve, please? A motion to appoint?
So moved, Wyline.
Second, Harmson.
All right. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 11B is Human Rights Commission. There is 1 vacancy to fill an unexpired term upon appointment through December 31st, 2026. And council discussion.
I would like to appoint Susana Rodriguez. Just given the fact that she's grew up in Iowa City, she know everything about the area. Also, she have a diverse background, and I think she will be a great add to add diversity to the commission.
Yeah, that's who I was going to nominate as well. I like it when I see people continuing to apply, and also I think the qualifications are there, and personally like the individual, and the passes the vibe check, if you will. But in all seriousness, yeah, I think that is what I would put forward.
I agree with Susana Rodriguez, and I appreciate that she reached out to let us know that she's interested as well.
I'd say I apologize. Susanna reached out to me, and I didn't get a chance to get back to her. It's too late. I did also receive a really wonderful call and had a conversation with Ed Moreno, too, from who works for LULAC, who I think would also be wonderful. So I wanted to mention him. I think I see the direction of the council right now, but wanted to say that I had to. He would also be great, and I hope he would apply again.
Yes.
This was
Those was my 2.
Yeah, I just want to mention, it's sort of in the same vein as Josh, and I equally, Susanna seems like she will be a fine addition. But one of the things that I was struck by, and I mentioned her the last go-around, was Tiana Madison. And the reason why I think I was able to sort of put it together for myself was that one of the things that the Human Rights Commission does so well is that they actually bring forth the stories of people.
Yes.
And in her application, she gave her own story. And we have been looking to expand the pool of people and for the very people that we want to give voice to. And so I just want to encourage Tiana to continue to apply. Keep grinding, and you are amazing. And as are this long list of applicants, you truly are. And but I remain very struck by this woman's story and her engagement. So I just wanted to kind of call her out for that in a really positive way, and to say that seats are coming available all the time.
And this commission is very popular. Everybody want to apply for this commission.
And we always get so many good applicants.
Yes, and good applicant, really. I guess so. Also, like the like the consistent that Susanna, like keeping up, not giving up. That means she's really want to do it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's virtually impossible task. You know, it's just when these come up, I kind of obsess over the applications, and I'm just like, I wish there was a better way. You know.
Yes.
But yeah.
All right. Sounds like we have, can I get a motion to appoint?
I will put a motion to appoint Susanna Rodriguez for the position. Yeah.
Moved by Sala,
Second.
seconded by Burgess. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. There are 22 applicants. Yes. All right, we're going to move on to 11C, which is the Library Board of Trustees. There's one vacancy to fill an unexpired term upon appointment through June 30th, 2031. All right.
This is another one. There's so
Yeah,
many.
15 applicants.
Like, yeah, these were crazy good.
Yes.
I guess.
I had Katie Prisky,
My list.
someone who reached out personally, and also I just think the qualifications are there, and yeah.
It was also on my short list, so I'm okay with that.
I also had Samantha Pearson, but Katie Prisky was one of my.
Yeah.
Actually, I had like 6 or 7
Yeah, it's-
folks, so I don't want to.
And it makes me happy because not only because of the political environment surrounding libraries right now, it just makes me happy that we have so many people who are so passionate about that and want to protect our libraries that are applying. And I don't think there's a bad applicant on here. And I don't know.
15 applicants on this
Yeah.
one. So.
All right. Well, we'll just wait a couple of seconds. And I think it is needs to be said that the commissions do a lot of great work, and we really do appreciate everybody that is applying. We are forced to make only one appointment. We have 15 applicants for this one. We had 22 applicants for the Human Rights and 3 applicants for the Civil Service Commission. And so lots of individuals wanting to serve their community, which is admirable. But we do have that hard decision to limit down to that open position, that open vacancy. So thanks to everybody. Keep applying. And there are other ways to serve as well, the community. So we'll wait for Councilor Sala to come back before we continue with a vote.
Just realize that we should make sure we always send these application lists on to the library for volunteer opportunities.
Well, they're in the packet. We just dropped a hint.
Yeah.
For Ann, yeah.
I have to remember to turn my alarm on. I have the alarm at 7 p.m. every night.
Oh, for
the
kids.
boys. They know it's bedtime when they hear that.
Oh, goodness. Get that routine is so important.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, especially at that age.
Mhm.
Kids thrive with that kind of
Oh,
routine.
yeah, yeah. All right, great. All right, so we have for the Library Board of Trustees, Katie Prisk, that has been recommended, supported by a majority of 4 or more. And so at this time, we're going to do roll call, please. Or all in favor, say aye.
We need a motion and a second.
Oh, we didn't get a motion or a second yet. Okay.
I'll move.
Second.
All right, moved by Alter, seconded by Wyline. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We are on to item number 12, which is announcements of vacancies previous. 12A is going to be Historic Preservation Commission, one vacancy for East College Street, representative to fill an unexpired term. Applications must be received by 5 p.m. Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. Airport Zoning Board of Adjustment, one vacancy to fill a 5-year term. Airport Zone Board of Adjustment, one vacancy to fill a 5-year term. Board of Appeals, one vacancy for a licensed electrician to fill a 5-year term. Board of Appeals, one vacancy for a HVAC professional to fill an unexpired term. Historic Preservation Commission, one vacancy for a Brown Street representative to fill a 3-year term. Historic Preservation Commission, one vacancy for Jefferson Street representative to fill a 3-year term. Historic Preservation Commission, one vacancy for a Woodlawn Avenue representative to fill a 3-year term. Vacancies will remain open until filled. We're at item number 13, City Council information.
I just wanted to highlight for folks that I'll be doing on March 19th, I'll be the guest reader at the Iowa City Public Library Storytime, talking, I think the theme is going to be municipal heroes and community. So bring your kids and go to the library.
Very cool.
Mayor, I just wanted to acknowledge that March 31st, which you declared as Trans Day of Visibility in our community, there's many events leading up to and including that day. There's a rally at College Green Park on the 31st from 4 to 7 p.m. And I just want to also acknowledge, because of this evening, the proclamation said that Iowa City has enshrined rights and protections in the Iowa City Human Rights Ordinance for our transgender community to meet this moment. And I think you are all probably aware that the Iowa legislature, the Republicans in the Iowa legislature, have passed a bill that takes away our ability to do that, and that it is on its way to the governor's desk if she hasn't signed it yet this evening. I think that is abhorrent. It is absolutely unprecedented and absurd that this law that previously stated cities can expand protections for their members of their communities as they see appropriate has been reversed to indicate that we may not have any broader definition of protections than those that are set forth in the law that was changed last year to remove gender identity as a protected class in the Iowa Civil Rights Act. So I just wanted to highlight the opportunities to celebrate our trans community and all the contributions that they make later this month, and also highlight the fact that our Republican legislature has really undermined our ability to help keep our community safe.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to move on to item number 14, reports from our city staff, city manager's office.
Nothing tonight, thanks.
City attorney.
I do have something tonight. I wanted to talk about Sue Dulick in our office for reasons that will become clear in a moment. Sue started her legal career in 1985 working for Iowa Legal Aid, where she faithfully served those who are in need of the most help, who are the most vulnerable. Eventually, she began her career here at the city attorney's office, where she has faithfully served for 25 years. It is for that reason that she has announced a well-deserved retirement. Her last day will be April 3rd. She has expressed her adamant feelings that she does not want a retirement party, so I'm going to take a brief moment at this public hearing to thank her for her wisdom, her guidance, and her service, and to say that she will be sorely missed, both by me and by everyone at the city with whom she's worked.
Absolutely.
I will second
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Well, we'll certainly say thanks to Sue and give her a big hand clap for 25 years of service. Absolutely. City Clerk.
Nothing.
All right, great. All right. We are on to item number 15. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Alter.
Second, Burgess.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Good night, all.